Hello, welcome to another episode of Get Rich and Fit Tryin. So after a couple trials and errors, we finally got everything right. So now we're gonna go ahead and get right to it. I'll see you on the other side. Let's go. Hey, good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of B. That's a B. Get Rich and Fit Tryin. See what happens when you have too many things going on. So Get Rich and Fit Tryin. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. Oh, that's all good. What's going on? Good morning, Javi. I guess I'm having a little bit of camera focusing issues. Just a little bit. I did, but I gotta edit the crap out of it because I kind of got a little confused on how I wanted to express it. I think this thing needs to be wiped in. No, because as I was explaining it, I was like, what is relevant and what's not. I started going through a whole cycle of that. And yeah, there it goes, nice and clear. I was having a hard time trying to make it make sense, and it was like, okay, maybe I'm over confusing myself. So I finished it, but I want to like edit what's relevant and what's not. I guess that's the best way to kind of explain that. No, it's Professor Jeff because I was breaking down the reason behind it, and I even went into my own personal indicators to explain how indicators relatively work, so that way if somebody has something else of an indicator that they're more comfortable with, this is the price action you want to equate it to as well. So I completely left it wide open. I think it was a good video. Is it what I want, and I want to like review it because by the time I did it, it was like freaking midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So yes, because I by the time I got everything, got the kids food, all that stuff, got settled, did my errands, I was like, okay, I have to do this because I gotta know what's in my head too. That's the bigger part of it. I did it so that way I can get inside of my own head and understand what I'm processing and still be able to explain it in that regard too. So it's like you get where I'm going with it. Yeah, I think you got what I mean. It's gonna be $1 million video. Ah, I like that. Speak it into existence. Let's go. It's all good. Let's get our opening range started. So these are a couple of levels I have marked off. I think I'm gonna leave it there. I know it might add a little confusion to y'all, but there's a purpose behind it. Here's our 15-minute opening range. I don't know which account I did link, but we'll cross that bridge later. Let me make sure I have everything. I didn't know I completed the required amount of days for my the eval that I finished yesterday. I actually knocked it out the park. I already had 5 days under the belt, so it was solid. So I took that check. Come on, all these alerts are coming in. I don't see anything yet. Could we get into that 626 to try to take some highs? Yes. Do I think there could be some bears waiting to go ahead and short the crap out of us? Yes. So I'm gonna hold on just a little bit before I get into a scalp, especially with my computer is not showing my oscillators here. What is going on? Sometimes I be thinking I gotta just shut my computer all the way down. I be trying not to do that because I want to just walk in and already have everything ready, but It's starting to get a little annoying. I'll just reset my trading view. Oh, I should have logged out before I did that. Because last time something like that happened, I wasn't able to put stop losses while I was inside of trades. So get a nice little refresh. All right, so we got up into that high, which is what I was looking for. Let me get my Robinhood going too. Where are you, Robinhood? Where did I put you? Oh, there it is. Let's put you over here. Let's maximize that. Let's get ourselves the QQQ and put that already so we can look at the chart. Oh my God, this thing is moving so slow. Looks very laggy on a lot of the stuff I'm trying to do. Let's expand this one here. Let's hide that. Let's get this. At one of my take profits at this level, I think that's why we kind of rejected. But I have another take profit at 734, and I think that's a daily level. Let's see, was that daily? Yeah, that was a daily one as we were breaking out to that top. I think we could probably still push based on that. Well, we'll see. VWAP, we are above it, I believe. Hold on, make sure. Yeah, we're above the VWAP. Nice solid move. I think there's going to be more upside. Let me make sure I am logged into the right thing. Of course I'm not, and because I didn't log out, I gotta go find it. Patience with a system that just does not cooperate really. Let's just attempt. I'm pretty sure it's gonna say I have concurrent. Yep, I have concurrent. It might be. I have so many doggone trading windows. Everything for all my trading plans. It's always difficulty. Of course, you're over here where I trade stocks instead of where I trade futures, even though I needed to stay with the futures. All right, got that. That solves that. And let's get ourselves logged in. And we're in. I don't think I missed much anyhow. Alright, so let's concentrate on what's the possibilities here. Quite a bit of stuff that could happen. For fun, let's do some top-down analysis. On the daily, we already know that we're coming through that order block. This is our support. I really think they want this level. They want to get the rest of this wick. Unfortunately, we're kind of like stagnant here. And I think there is something coming out. Let me make sure. Is there anything on the news side that can trip us up? Wholesale inventory. Oh, Fed speaking at 10 o'clock. That can be tricky. And then 1 o'clock. That's the one I'm really worried about. The bond auction. So 1 o'clock and Fed speaking at 10 o'clock. So we might get a little choppy until they start talking. So let's just temper ourselves just a little bit, but we will take some scalps if they present themselves. All right, so let's see. I think this is a block in itself because this is what allowed for us to break above, and we kind of wicked up here, but they took a lot of liquidity. Megaphone pattern, of course, it engulfed everything from the previous. Could we get part of me wants to say it needs to test back down to here, but we're gonna wait for that. All right, let's go. Let's just focus on the 15 minute and see how this is going to pan out. It looks very choppy. Why are you taking so long to load? I just reset you. Come on now. Let's get it together. Let me close some windows. Let's get rid of you. I need that. I need that. I need that. Not working. Let's get rid of email. All right, we got a nice little pop here. Kind of sat on a block, but this block is not really sound. The reason why I'm saying that is because at 8:30 news right here, this one is probably what we're trying to bounce to. And when we took out this area here, I want to see, can we hold above here? We used it as a wicking area. Probably could have been in this based on that center pivot of that stranger danger. We want to just be patient about it. All right, that's levels. Let's get rid of news. I'm gonna go to solo real quick. Yeah, I think that's what it was. If I actually just loaded up around that 603 using psychological 600, had a couple of EMAs that was there, I probably could have had these 40 points, but it's fine. Okay. 4 minutes and 12 seconds left on this 15 minute. Patience, folks, patience. That's the key part. If I were thinking about some QQQs, actually, let me go get myself completely set up. QQQ. Oh, that Futu is still pushing. That was a good trade. How many trades do I have? I have 3 here. Alright. Probably have to leave my Robin Hood alone, but we're going to go ahead and roll with that anyhow. Come on, baby. Give me something that we can relatively trade. Here's our high right here. Making stranger danger around 615. Nice retest to 615 is not too bad too. That'll be a good move. All right, we're getting a little bit more of a pullback, which again, I anticipate a pullback was going to be necessary here. Just gotta be patient. Ah, children. Lordy. Told them I'm recording like 3 or 4 times. But the coolest spot in the whole entire house is by my office. That's how it usually works. Okay, so I thought we would have caught it at stranger danger. I did not expect that much of a pullback. When I see such a reversal like this, it makes me think that only the bulls are in control. All right, we're probably going to get ourselves a nice little reversal here. And they said, nope, we're not going to get it there. I was just thinking about setting something up but this thing is pushing pushing back down. All right, we got 1 minute left. Let's take one shot. We're gonna risk about $100. I'm thinking we're gonna break above 612, but if we don't, yep, I lose $100. I'm out. 36 seconds. They're probably just still doing some more liquidation. I want to put something at 24. Oh, Trading View, you always astonish me. Now they actually put a shortcut, add to order, which allows you to put a add to order versus a limit. Very interesting because I like to add to my orders with stops. That's how I trade. All right, so we got a new 5 minute candle that's starting here. Looking for that reversal to start. Let's see, giving it a few more seconds here because I might consider taking this up if this thing shows promise. And it's not, so we're gonna just sit back, grab our popcorn, and just wait. We might get into bearish territory in a little bit. Probably could play it to the VWAP. VWAP sits at 557. Unless they use this area as a reload area in itself, and that makes a higher low here. So now would we establish our first 15 minute? This is where we're looking for a break over here. While I do that, I want to gotta do the same thing for gold because gold ripped at the Asian, so I want to see what theirs look like. Let's go ahead and mark these off, and let's get back over to NQ. Okay, they grabbed a little bit of liquidity here. Kind of look like we're building a base here. I might take this sweep back up. I think it's a sweep more than a drop. All right, let's risk another $100. Let's see if I am right. All right, risked $100. They got me out. All right, cool, no problem. So I had made like $300 yesterday, and I told myself I was gonna risk like 200 of it on that account. So since I did that purpose, on to the next one. No, no, of course. Listen, I'm being very specific. I'll get back to that account, but what I won't do is just sit in one account and like drill it over and over. Oh, there goes another shot at this. Let's see if we can get this one. Okay, gonna risk $100 again. See if we can get up here. Get up here. This new button is kind of weird because it's making me do an order instead of putting my market. There we go, with it there. And then I'll probably put a massive order right around here. Kind of something like that. So 598, of course, for the $600 psychological level. The other one is the about to hit before 100. 612 and 624. Those are the two areas I want to go ahead and add a position into, considering if we continue this upside. It spiked 100 and then oh, I was about to close it and I stuck with it, but its consolidation is being tough right now. Again, there's a Fed speaking, so I won't be surprised that, okay, I lost 100 on that. All right, patience, market of patience. I have to wait for some of these things to reset. I don't like this 5 minute already crossing like this, so I think we're going to go down. I think the real bounce is probably going to be at VWAP at 555, 558, or 552, somewhere around that ballpark. Getting real choppy. I gave it three. I gave it three tries. I shot my shot, Javi. Ooh, oh man, I am yawning right now. That's what happens when you record videos at midnight and then wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh man, look at that. Now y'all want to push. Look at you. Now you want to get to that 600 level. And in 15 seconds, that opening range breakout to the bearish side is dead. We're inside again. Lower my leverage. I'm gonna wait for the new 5 minute to see if it resets any oscillators. Oh lordy, should have stuck with it, huh, Javi? Looking like a 5 minute pin bar. See if we can get that. All right, taking the first shot. See if we can get that. If we can get a 5 minute pin bar to follow through. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't you dare! Don't you dare! You came too quick to that $100. Oh, that pin bar is failing. Let's get out the way of that one. That's what happens when you diddle in the middle. Ah. Market behave. Market behave. They're trying to get through the stranger danger right now. Very funny. Try to stay in it for here. Try to stay in for here. Gave it 4 shots and we're still kind of like pushing up, but it's just keeping my stop loss where I might have to widen out my stop loss as much as I'm uncomfortable to do that. Let's see if we can get a reset here. What they're doing, they're liquidating recent bears that just stepped in to go ahead and short it to where it is right now. I knew it was going to be tricky because of this 5 minute. Look at that. And there's your push. There's a bit of the rub. I don't like the stochastic where it is. I'm not going to take that shot. So overall, down 200 on the other, 300 on this one. It's just doing all types of funky stuff. Alright, almost resetting. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put my scalping alert on. I did do a 50% center pivot. I was gonna wait, thinking that they wouldn't do that, and it did. Mm, 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 mm. Getting some good crosses now, but we still haven't touched the VWAP. This thing can crack. Oh, and that. That's what I was saying. I didn't want to do a 50% center pivot. Look at that. We could get all the way. This could be a short opportunity right now. We could get all the way to VWAP, all the way to the 558. I think that's the possibility where we're going to be going with this. Let's take that first shot of it. Risking $100. Again, very choppy, very back and forthy. There's people calling me at this time. They already reset the oscillator here, but I'm seeing if the 5 minute can take over. If the 5 minute can take over, we'll be going down. I want that 558, but we are literally in the middle of two order blocks. I got $100. Yeah, it is. All right, $215, $235. Let's get this pushed down. Probably should have tightened my stop at the order block. I'm trying taking it down. Gonna take it at break even. All right, I got close to my break even. $60. So I had $200. Take the $60. It's probably gonna go down more, but this 5 minute. You see how that 5 minute is trying to curl? You don't want to be part of that, especially when it's starting to hit some bullish areas or bullish sentiment points, and that's where we at, right? Ooh, see what I mean? Oh, thank God I dodged that bullet. Oh, and that happened so fast, and that's what I was afraid of. If it gets back above 360, 639, I may just go ahead and just jump in with a market order to go ahead and play part of that push up. I think they just trapped a lot of bears, and we're probably going to go ahead and really put some pressure on their face. I'm going to take one stab here. Let's see if this holds. All right, we got one. I'm going to raise leverage already. No, no, no. Just be patient, Jeff. That's the opening range. All right, so we're going to go ahead, and that's that 550 for the 5 minute opening range. Let's see if we can get there. All right, just going to weather the storm here. See if we can get that. I'm not going to get out yet. The Bears, when I say the Bears jumped out the window, they jumped out the window on that one. So I'm going to put a sell stop right here. See if I can get myself some nice structure here. 2 minutes and 58 seconds. I'm locking in like $50. I got 150 so far. Always lock yourself some green, because you can use that. That's all of your test, right? Every time you're like, all right, I'm gonna risk $100 here. Take 100 here. Take $50 here. Take that. That you can stack that up into all those tests and give yourself more opportunity. Don't just let all of that just disappear. So I'm at 240, 260. I want to wait until the opening range breakout closes. I really do. I wanted to add, but I might just sit on this one contract and just let it do whatever it wants to do, because I think they've accumulated quite a position here. Is there any targets here? I might have to go to the daily to get that. That's our all-time high. So let's go ahead and mark this level here, because that's the previous open that created this chaos that we're dealing with right now. So they might be going for the target of 700. Do we have enough steam for that? Do they stop me out in the process of getting to that 700? Very possible. It's only 50 points away, so to be honest, I think they could just still take it up there. But I still got only about 50 to $100 locked in. I think, I don't even remember. I have no. I got two points. So what's that? Two. That's like 8 ticks, 10 ticks, somewhere around there. Yeah, like $50, 40, $50. Trying to do the math of this as fast again. Yeah, so that's 8 plus 3. That's 9. 9. That's $45. All right, if we can get the sell side liquidity of all the ones that just stepped in right here, trying to short at 660, we should take off. Or they hit my stop and I take my $45. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. But I'm really thinking that they're going to get the sell side liquidity here. That 5 minute is finally turned up here. They might close the candle, then sweep, knock me out. Then I have to find another position. But I think we're going to get an open range bullish breakout. Got 38 seconds. They're trying their best to liquidate them. Look at that. Look at that push. Look at them. They pushing. Pushing. Come on, bulls. Come on. Come on, bulls. That 650 holds. 648 is our opening range. Come on, come on, bulls. There's a Fed speaking today. He better say nothing but positivity to the market. Talking about how much he wants to vote for interest rate drops. At least that's the position I'm in right now. Oh, there we go. That's that spike. Can we get a follow through on that spike? Come on, baby. Yeah, maybe I should have raised my leverage. I felt like it was going to be tight, but could I weather all those pullbacks? I'm just going to be patient with this. Hold on to it. No, not Jay Powell. It's one of the subordinates, the people that try to vote him out. One of them. I'm aiming to just hold on to this for 5 minutes, regardless of whatever it is. I am not moving this stop loss at all. Very risky, right? But my theory here is that this is the first 5 minutes after the break above, and people are going to start piling in. I could be completely wrong because again, with opening range breakout, look at this. Look what they did. Look what they did. They got all that buy side liquidity of everybody that stepped into that. Come on. Where my bulls? Where my bulls? Where my bulls at? They do not want this new high. And I am about to, I had 400, 500 bucks. They stopped me out at 50. All right, that's all right. That's okay. On to the next one. I still think we're going to be bullish overall. Waiting for this oscillator to reset. Let's see what this 15 minute has for us. 15 minutes still looks bullish. Like I said, I think the VWAP is the most critical part out of this. We might be building a base here. Be careful here, because whatever happens here, it could just jab us down. I am looking at this 4 hour as possible continuation. They're just taking some of the profits here. So we'll see what happens there. Taking that one. Let's see if we can get a nice little hold here. And I am going to take up in here at 654 and see if we can get some new highs around what we just spiked through here for the day, which would bring us to like 671, and see if we can really get this opening range. Don't want to lose more than 100 bucks. Don't want to lose more than 100 bucks. Come on, baby. You came back for no reason. We're going up. Get that sell side liquidity. Come on, Bears. Get out the way. Get out the way, Bears. Get out the way, Bears. Alright, come on. I need this to get above that 50 again. Alright, solid above that 50. Come on. Hold your water. Oh, right when I was going to put my order for my stop loss into profit, they said, nope, we're going to go ahead and hit you down again. And I could not put it in. I almost want to just take it at break even. I think that's what I'm going to do. I have no freaking stop. That's annoying. Come on, baby. Give us that explosion. The good explosion, not the bad one. They spiked it again. Come on, get above that 450. Get all that liquidity. They don't want it above that 650. Come on. Where my bulls? Where my bulls? Where my bulls at? $654. Come on, get there. I gotta remind myself to breathe sometimes. New 5 minute candle. That does not look good. Let's see if they can grab this 5 minute sell side liquidity. Not a fan of what they just did there. I was just about to put the stop loss into profit. Are you gonna give me a chance, or are you gonna get my whole $100? That's all you're gonna give me? Put it in a profit now. All right. Could it just continue bouncing? Yeah, possibly. Could it be being a jerk? Possibly. Is it resetting some oscillators? Yeah, maybe. And I just don't want that. And that's exactly why I put my stop loss into profit. All right, so instead of being down $300 on this one, I'm now down 160. Just never had any real follow through, so that didn't really give me much of a trade per se. So we're just waiting. Look at that nice little sweep right back up again. Oh, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. I'm gonna wait for the 5 minute to close above the 650. With it making a lower low, it could be dangerous trying to take it like this. Patience. Even though this is where the FOMO starts to get in. What I'm gonna do is concentrate on what if I took an option contract. What would I want to see? Is that today's contract? Oh, okay. No, that is not. I am into that. Okay, there we go. No, next week contract. Yeah, we're not spending that much money. So that one looks okay. Let's get this option chain open, because we may consider you as well. Don't FOMO, folks. Don't FOMO. 5 minute making a lower low right here is equivalent to a complete channel happening like this. That's how my eyeball sees them. So I'm not a fan of that. So maybe I'll take a bounce off of this stranger danger when we get close to it. Maybe if I was ballsy, but this could be our drop. There's a psychological level of 600. Maybe they can get a bounce here. Risking $100. We're gonna go ahead and see if we can get in here. Complete reversal. Let's see if we can take out this level here at the 655. And y'all made me mad. So my full position is over at 671. I got like 75 bucks on the table, but it's struggling. It is struggling. They just took out some lows here. Not liking that. Come on, baby. Get out of the channel. Get out of the channel. It's like seeing Holyfield getting stuck up against the ropes. Oh, 100 bucks is all I want to lose. I'm out. Nah, they caught me with 160. Yeah, this is a downward channel that they're starting to form here. Not a fan of that. It broke a key level that I didn't want to see us break. We got 12 seconds and we did not close above the opening range. I'm okay with losing 160 there because what I was looking for was something along the lines of here. If we try to play inside of a channel here, I probably will be waiting for it to come back and touch the stranger danger, maybe just a little above it, get to that center pivot of this horn-tie channel, and that's what they're drifting us into. Hence the reason why I wanted us to touch the VWAP a long time ago. Now VWAP is at 577. That could be our bounce, so I might take a bounce off the VWAP here. Now that we're kind of outside of the channel, because this is the channel that started it. Actually, you know what? Let me be gracious. Nope, I did that wrong. Put you back. I wanted to touch this one. Kind of looks like that. Oh my God, touch the VWAP first. No, it's bouncing already. What did I touch at 570? It's bouncing too early. It is bouncing way too early for my liking. They might get all this buy-side liquidity messing around. I see some bearish sentiment that is trying to implement itself, but almost like they're using the open range higher low here as a bounce. That's probably why we did that. But I want that VWAP. I really want that VWAP. I think that's the true buyers are there at the VWAP. The 15-minute is almost engulfing that whole entire candle. Pure scalp. It's telling me to short it because they just grabbed some of the buy side liquidity. That's what I was scared about. It's almost like I'm telling Michael, no, don't do it yet. You're doing it too early. You're gonna trap the bulls. It's like seeing a climax of a movie. Like, oh, don't open that door. All right, so we're down like 160 bucks. No, 300 and 200. So that's 500 bucks between the two accounts. Oh, they just liquidated all those bears. I don't know if I want to take any smoke out of that one. I think I want to leave that one alone. A good entry around 609, roughly around here. But I'm going to leave it alone only because I think I should. I might be completely wrong. I want that VWAP. I'm still stuck on that VWAP. I think we're going to have a lot of trouble here because we have yet to touch the VWAP. The last time we touched the VWAP was during London session. So I want to see, is there buyers still here? And that VWAP will allow for me to kind of get a gauge based on those parameters. I think this liquidation of the bears is a trap for the bulls. That way they can go ahead and drag them to the VWAP. Some things are starting to show curls, like they're going to go ahead and do death crosses. All right, here's the 15 minute. The 15 minute is going to give us a nice little solid bounce. So this is what I'm thinking, is that we just made higher highs and higher lows, and they're going to sweep the 15 minute gap. We'll see. I got a message. Let me check out what he's talking about. I have a hard time with these penny little stocks. I gotta work on that. All right, so a nice little reset of the oscillators here. I may consider to take it up. For those that's on YouTube, I think I'm gonna just hang out with y'all a little bit longer and see how this kind of pans out. This is still our channel for the most part. We'll get real bullish here because I think that'll take a lot of sell side liquidity here. The Stoke is back into its reset form on the 5 minute. I need that oscillator reset. We didn't go nowhere. We went absolutely nowhere on this push up. And that's the push that I was saying. We didn't go nowhere. I had a feeling they were going to do that. Are you going to curl to 50%? Don't curl it. Just get to the VWAP. Come on. Get down there. Right now, VWAP is sitting at 74. 574. If we can get to 574, I think we're going to get a solid bounce. Oh, they put in another reversal type of pattern here. They refuse to let it make any lower lows. But I'm seeing death crosses forming on all types of different formations. Let me go over to the 1 minute again. That's the thing about this 1 minute. It's literally doing like a barricade. Kind of doing like a little W here. There's that area I was saying that could be a very interesting place for us to get some pop on sell side liquidity. Now it'll be that 5 minute channel. 5 minutes also putting in what looks like a morning star. But that's the top of the channel. So like I said, bears can exist there. Break above will be liquidity, but it does not guarantee that. Almost want to short it here. I'm not going to lie to you. Not going to short it. I'm not going to short it. It's a good spot to possibly short it, but I'm not going to short it because if that morning star is what they're doing, sweeping for levels, even though we're kind of like in this channel and this was a rejection point because of multiple 5 minute rejection points, and assuming that this is going to make a lower low, they would have to break this pivot here, which brings us to 577. Hence the reason I said no, not yet. Just get it out the way. We could have grabbed all the liquidity. Grabbing too much of it now. And if it doesn't get to certain levels, the bulls are going to start to become the liquidity and just say, all right, I'm going to get out of here and take my small profits. Like, this is not momentum. That's why we tell y'all not to play inside of chop. Ah, this is just so damn choppy and annoying. uh, and that's drop. You see that as they grab buy side liquidity. Looking for them to recapture the wick. Let's see if this happens. Tiny order block sits over here, and that coincides with another order block, and I think that's what they're using to kind of keep on bouncing here, which is this. Come on, get out of my way. Which is this area here. That's why we're bouncing like that. Get that VWAP. VWAP is currently sitting at 576. 576, about 5 points below the bearish line. I can imagine those that play in the opening range to the downside, they got their limit orders down here. Kidnap them, throw them in the back of the trunk, and then out of nowhere it just drops. That's the order block that's being built right there. That's the 590, 600, psychological 600. That's what we're doing this dance with. So tempting to take this to the upside after that horizontal rejection. Just scalping on each way, but I am looking for a bigger move. Let me grab my other chart. Look at this 4-hour again. I don't anticipate the 4-hour to make a lower low. I don't anticipate the 4-hour to get anywhere near the level of 5. Oh, gotcha. That's why we're bouncing. The previous 4 hours level is 570. And because they did this whole entire dance right now, we may blast right through the 570 and catch 4-hour liquidity because they did not let this thing touch the VWAP. Oh man, this might not be good. Last line of defense is that 570. Do I want to short this? No, we built order blocks here. Do I want to take this down? Then a bit, yes. I should have took it off the channel knowing that that was that, but I just found out about that 4-hour level. We're sitting on fair value gaps that's there. Not enough volume. That's all it is. Not enough volume. Anything on the news? Maybe they're waiting for the bonds to finally bring in the volume. They want to see what rates they come up with. All right, we're almost there. Get to the doggone fight. What level is it now? VWAP is sitting at 576. All they had to do is get to the 576. Look at them trying to catch it now. No, too early again. Because if they did the 570, we would have put in a bullish divergence right there. It's saying scalp to the upside. If you want to play to the upside, it won't be too bad. Entry at 600. Psychological level, I would say keep your stop loss tight because this thing can still go to my 575, 576 level. That's what I'm looking for. All right, we got like 9 minutes. We'll probably end this at 10:30 on the dot. Out of sheer frustration and understanding that I don't want to get myself elevated where I cost myself money, and maybe I'll find a better setup on the 2-hour or one of my other alerts. I got multiple ways to get into the market, and I have no business fighting with chop like this. And it could be that they're because of the low volume that they're gonna play inside the open range, bounce off the bearish line, sell at the bullish line, like they're just going to go back and forth. That's very possible. But I want this VWAP touched already. Get to the doggone VWAP. We're almost there. We're almost there. Please, outside, close the door.
I'm bored.
I know. Nah, there's nothing to trade. You see this chop? Let me show you this. This is called barcoding. There's no continuation anywhere here. They just grabbed the liquidity on the bulls. All right, let's see if we can get a bounce here. I'm looking for reversal off this level and assuming that the 570 level will hold. Very dangerous because the 4-hour could be jabbing me all in the face every time I jump into here. All right, we made another lower low. If it hits 570, I am leaving this thesis completely out because then we're probably going to fill the fair value gap of the 4-hour, which I'm going to get y'all the levels in a little bit. Come on, show me reversal. Show me reversal. Do not get in that 570. Oof, they jabbed them. That's it. That's it. Okay, fair value gap under 570 down to about 504. Now, can they use the fair value gap as a place to springboard? Yes. So make sure you have a clean confirmation of this. We got conflicting stuff. Like we are still inside the channel. We're going to be bearish. We broke VWAP. We're under it. So that means we got volume against us. What's the other thing that I have here? We got the 5-minute opening range breakout here. So reset of the oscillator before I get into this, and then we'll go play the fair value gap fill. That's the only thing I could think of. If you want to be risky, get in relatively now. It's starting to pin some of my lower registers, but this whole entire chop, 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 down, 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 and they kept on like hitting it. It took too long to do that. When you want to play to the downside, you want it to kind of like just go right to that level, and it struggled to do so. My daily stop loss is at 525, and the fair value gap ends at ends at 505. So we're talking about psychological 500. Do they have enough? Oh, that could be a reversal right there. That could be a reversal, or it could be a trap as we're getting here. Again, Confluence is just, and I'll give you a nice little spill of Confluence because it's going to probably take 6 minutes for all this to pan out. It's just all the ideologies, if you could think about them, that they're all crashing into each other and then they agree on a position. We were putting in a bullish divergence that is now shot. We are at lower registers of some of the smaller time frames, but because of the bullish divergence getting shot, it might turn around when we sell this green candle and we just continue to the downside, pinning those that like to play bounces off the 5-minute, knowing that this is that first part, this is the first leg, this is the retracement, that's the pullback, and we just dump down even further. I want to play this. I'm not going to play this because I don't see that this fair value gap can close inside of here, and it could be tricky, and I do not want to be part of liquidity. There's too many signals. I got some stuff that says bullish. I have some stuff that says bearish. Why fight with that? So it can get real choppy here on the 5-minute as the 5-minute fights to try to hold itself up. See that pullback? Again, to give you a perspective, that was 10 points in 15 seconds. That's 40 ticks in 15 seconds. That can really mess up a portfolio depending on your leverage size. Javi, the smaller time frame bullish, the higher time frame confused. I'm not. Tell me where you see the bullish move, and then tell me where you see the bearish move. Correct. So your take is taking the opening range for what it is, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is it a smooth down? No, it's not. It would, yes, it would have been a better stop loss. But imagine, let's just say, great, love what you just said, right? Let's just say you got in on this candle on the wick, right? And then you got 100 tick under the belt. Just this pullback right here, you lost 40 ticks. Can you weather that? Most cases, no. But let's just say you did. Now you're down to 181 ticks and you're coming to a 5 minute 800 EMA right here. Or in this case, we've been playing inside of a channel where it coming to another area of the channel. Look at this reversal. They're grabbing liquidity. They're grabbing the liquidity. This is a perfect 4 hour VWAP reversal off of this level, knowing that not VWAP, fair value gap reversal. This is our 4 hour fair value gap. This is what made me have questions. Yes, it would have been better if I got it at the top, but hindsight is always going to be 2020. This is what I was afraid of. Let me go to the 5 minute, and you're going to see what I mean. You see that 5 minute? That 5 minute closed here. So what ended up happening? That means you would have to enter here, deal with that pullback, which that pullback did something relatively nasty of 51 ticks after it gave 88 ticks. Would you have taken those 88 ticks? Well, let's go to the 1 minute. Look how choppy this was. Which one of these lows you're going to take? And that's why I said we're sitting inside of a channel. And that's why we're rejecting like this. Look what... I don't play channels. I don't do well on them. And it looks like one. And I didn't want none of the smoke. Can we burrow as a channel all the way through this area? I know where my weaknesses are. And I didn't want none of the smoke. Look at this. They're getting all that buy side liquidity now. Could this be an opening range pull back into the VWAP so they can short it right back down? That 800 EMA is probably going to be my target. Do I want to go ahead and risk that for 25 points? Maybe. But there's not a lot of confluence that says that this is going to stay bearish other than the 1 minute death cross here. The 5 minute opening range, but they just liquidated quite a bit of people. Look at this order block that's sitting right here. Well, my target would be here, right? Getting into this area here, but that's going to be a challenge in itself. So it's not an easy trade. Is there opportunities? Yes, but it's not an easy trade. Not like yesterday. Yesterday, everything was transparent. We had nothing but clear skies. There was no... Oh my God. I just caught on to something. So you know how we talk about fair value gap. Remember how Bucky used to always like talk about gaps? It's nothing but clear skies at the gap. He loves gaps. Well, if we think about it, there is no clear skies on the bullish side. There's no fair value gap. There's nothing here. All right, let's come down a little bit. 4 hour. Is there any? There is, but look at right here. We're inside of a cross candle order block. I'll explain that at a later time if you don't know what that means. Let's go to the 2 hour. We got to find target. We can't just go willy-nilly into areas. So even though we were bullish, I did have targets on the 2 hour. That's what I was aiming for. Hence the reason why I got these levels. But we're not getting any support for that. So what ended up happening? It pulled all the way back. Where did it go? It went into our 2 hour fair value gap and also our 4 hour fair value gap. The bulls are trying to use the fair value gap as support. Let's come back to the 5 minute. Look where we just bottom at. We just made a lower low on the 5 minute. We're almost close to the 50% of the fair value gap, which was also a jambalaya rice order block. Got some greens, got some reds, all this stuff. And I'm supposed to play inside of this chop. They just... In perspective, that was 10 points for 15 seconds, 8 points for 15 seconds, and then another 6 points. So 10, 8, that's 18, 24. So 25 points just dropped in less than a minute to the downside, just for it to recover 17 points the next following minute. So where do you get in? You could get in at support. You could get in at resistance. It exactly. That comment right there explains everything. If you have to turn around and flip a coin, that means we're probably consolidating. You might as well wait for a W breakout instead of trying to fight inside of here. There's no real direction because there's no clear skies. Is there a clear sky right here that we could probably take? If we build a nice little base here, which I think these people that stepped in here, they were thinking, oh, we're going to break out of the channel above the VWAP. And as soon as I get in here, I'm going to buy some more because we'll fill this fair value gap. That's probably what they're thinking right now. But the thing is, which risk are you going to take? Right now, we got 35 seconds here. I'm going to give y'all one more, but I got to get out of here. I just realized it's 10:30. Right? Okay, so now we got a nice little spike here. We're getting out of the fair value gap. Let's get a higher high here. Slightly. So let's just say in 18 seconds, this is about to close. We're going to get ourselves a nice little cross MACD. Everything is looking good for a nice little quick scalp, right? So my stop loss will be somewhere around here, but I'm looking for this to make one more candle and maybe even get the W and push. But you already know, def cross, we're going to test the 50 EMA, and that's probably going to be your rejection point. We got another high here. Let's see if we can hold that. They're grabbing liquidity right now. Stoke is a little tired, but we're hoping that something can save us. Like what? A 5 minute. Why a 5 minute? Because we got all these long wicks that's happening here. Stoke is in the lower register, but this is still bearish. Let's go to the 15 minute. 15 minute, long wick doji again, putting in what could be a pin bar. We gotta wait 9 minutes for this. But in 9 minutes, all this can happen. So what do we really want? We want something like this so that way we can be able to keep our stop loss tight, get above this VWAP. Give me a second, right? Get above this VWAP. And if we can break 77, this could get real bullish really, really fast. Oh, there goes my phone call. All right. So folks, let me get some work done. I bid you fond farewell. We'll get back into this trade. Maybe I'll do a pop-up or something, but I'll catch y'all later.